Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. This week we continue learning Hodot HaLevavot, Duties of the Heart by Rabbi Bahia Ibn Pakuda. And we're still in chapter of reflection, the chapter of reflection. And he begins saying today, he who trusts in God will be surrounded with love. This is the healing. And the ways of providence often astound us. What he's saying here is that it's very easy to be a historian. It's very easy to look at life from what happened to today. It's very hard to be a fortune teller. We cannot know the future, but we can learn from our past. So here he's saying that in reflecting on the affairs of the world, you should always look to the final outcome of things, whether they are at first appear to be misfortunes or opportunities. You will discover something astonishing. And we'll see that many of the things that happen to us in life really are for the good. People can see when something happens to them, something monumental in life, life-changing, life-altering. Years later, they see back and they say, I can see why this had to happen to me. I can see where this has led me. I can see what type of a person I've become. I would have never been who I am if I wouldn't have gone through this. And this is what happens. In this week, Parasha Kitavo, it's also talking about the blessings and the curses, and Hashem's telling us to choose life, to choose the blessings, to choose the life of mitzvot, to connect to that. But sometimes we are a little bit stubborn and we want to do things our way, and we don't listen to Hashem, we don't listen to Him, and we just do whatever we want. And life is a system, cause and consequence. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. And it's very clear in this parasha. It tells us if you do this, this is what's going to happen, and it's horrendous. I'm not going to even repeat it because in shul they go very fast through them. You don't even say them. But at the end of the day, what we have to learn is that there's no such things as curses. Even though they look like a curse, in reality, they are blessings. They're blessings in disguise, because these are the things that bring us to be the best we can. And there's a story of a man that I remember this story. I love it. And he used to always say, let's wait and see. He had this, let's wait and see. And so he had a cow, and he used to sell the milk of the cow and make cheese, and this is how he made a living. And suddenly one day he sold his cow and he bought a horse. And everybody was like, wow, this guy, he's doing something better, he's upgrading himself. And then he said, let's wait and see, let's wait and see. One day his son gets on the horse and he falls down and he breaks his leg. And everybody's telling him, oh, you're so stupid, look what happened to your son. And he said, let's wait and see, let's wait and see. 2 weeks later, there's a war, and they take all the young men to war, and his son is exempt because he has a broken leg. And everybody, oh no, you're a genius, how did you know, how did you know? And he says, let's wait and see, let's wait and see. And the story goes on and on and on, and he's always saying, let's wait and see. And this is the approach to life that we have to have. We should always, let's wait and see what happens, you know? So the ways of providence often astound us, and we never know what's in store for us. So we always let's wait and see. In the good times, in the bad times, this is the way we should look at life. So one of the most important subjects you should reflect on is the universal good that God bestows upon all living creatures and plants on earth, and such as the rains which fall when they are needed and in due season. So it's a blessing when rain falls, when it's needed, when it's the right amount, when it falls when the ground is ready to produce fruit, a tree or vegetables. So it's a blessing. We see how Hashem takes care of everything and everybody, how every creature has its food, how everybody is sustained constantly by the hand of God and His kindness. And this is one of the wonders of the world. So how astonishing too is the growth of food from seeds. For a single grain can produce 1,000 and more. And it's incredible. When you plant a seed, really the tree doesn't come out of the seed or the flowers. The seed goes into the ground, it goes into the soil, and it disintegrates into the soil. and then something comes out. It's like if you could see it, you wouldn't believe it. It's like, how can this be? How can something come out of nothing? So this is one of those miracles that Hashem creates. And it has been stated that one grain can produce 300 ears of grain, and each ear containing more than 20 grains. And we also find towering trees which spring out of a single seed or a single shoot. So when we look at the creation, how everything recreates itself, it doesn't make sense. It really, you can see there's a miracle behind it. So the ways of sustenance specially provided for each of the different kinds of living things are too numerous to mention. Like, if you look at the world, there's so many things to feed. Animals, they eat different things. There are animals that eat vegetables. There's animals that only eat meat. There's animals that only eat packaged food, whatever it is. But you see how everybody is given their sustenance. And the wise person, when he contemplates them and understands their causes, will see in them the wisdom of the Creator's plan. So when you meditate on the way in which we're fed, in the way in which every single entity in this world is sustained, you will come to really be in awe of God. And as King David spoke, he said, you open your hand and satisfy every living thing with blessing. So I want to finish here. I want to wish you a good week. Remember, we're in the month of Elul. It's a good time to meditate in the greatness of God, in His awesomeness, to be grateful for everything He gives us. Gratitude is the number one blessing in our life. If you're not a grateful person, then there's nothing, because everything you get, you deserve, and then there's no feeling of awe in your life. So start working on that. Look at everything that surrounds you. Be grateful for everything, and you'll see the blessings coming, the real blessings, the open and revealed ones. So remember, live a little higher. Thank you.